This video was produced using artificial intelligence tools for research, scripting, and narration. All analysis and predictions are AI-generated commentary, not verified intelligence. This video is presented for educational purposes, and the information contained within is based on publicly available data and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to take any particular action. Moving to the most significant development this week, the Russian invasion of Ukraine has escalated, with reports of increased military activity along the Eastern Front. This has raised concerns about the potential for a wider conflict, and analysts suggest that the situation is becoming increasingly unstable. The global situation level is currently at high, with multiple regions experiencing critical risk, including Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. In a global overview, the current international situation is characterized by a complex web of conflicts and tensions, with multiple regions experiencing high levels of instability. The Russian invasion of Ukraine, US-China diplomatic tensions over Taiwan, and the US renewing strikes on Iran are all contributing to a highly volatile global environment. From an educational standpoint, it is essential to understand the historical context and geopolitical dynamics that are driving these conflicts. The US has also expanded its bombing of Iran as conflict escalates, and the Israel-Hamas conflict continues, with reports of increased violence. Additionally, North Korea has conducted missile tests, and the Syrian civil war is ongoing, all of which are contributing to a highly unstable global situation. Turning now to a regional breakdown, in Europe, the situation is critical, with the Russian invasion of Ukraine posing a significant threat to regional stability. Analysts suggest that the conflict could escalate further, with potential consequences for the entire region. In Asia, the US-China diplomatic tensions over Taiwan are also at a critical level, with China conducting military exercises in the Taiwan Strait. Commentary indicates that this could be a precursor to further action, and the situation is being closely monitored. In North America, the US-China diplomatic tensions over Taiwan are also having an impact, with the US renewing its commitment to defending Taiwan. The Middle East is also experiencing critical risk, with the US renewing strikes on Iran, and the conflict escalating. Africa is at high risk, with the Ethiopia-Tigray conflict ongoing, and Oceania is at elevated risk, with the Australia-China trade war continuing. In a significant development, the Iran war has cost the US $37.5 billion so far, and this has significant implications for the US economy. From an educational standpoint, it is essential to consider the military, diplomatic, and economic dimensions of current events. The military dimension is characterized by increased conflict and tensions, with multiple regions experiencing high levels of instability. The diplomatic dimension is also critical, with the US-China diplomatic tensions over Taiwan, and the US renewing strikes on Iran, all contributing to a highly volatile global environment. The economic dimension is also significant, with the cost of conflict and trade wars having a major impact on the global economy. Moving to scenario modeling, analysts suggest that the US will conduct at least 5 airstrikes on Iranian military targets within the next 7 days, with a focus on disrupting supply chains and command centers, and this analysis has an 85% confidence level. One scenario being discussed is that Russia will launch a major ground offensive in eastern Ukraine within the next 7 days, aiming to capture key cities and infrastructure, and commentary indicates that this has an 82% confidence level. From an educational standpoint, it is also possible that China will conduct a series of military exercises in the Taiwan Strait within the next 7 days, including live-fire drills and amphibious landings, and this analysis has an 80% confidence level. Additionally, the Israeli military may launch a targeted strike on Hamas militants in Gaza within the next 7 days, in response to increased rocket attacks, and this scenario has a 78% confidence level. The US may also impose additional sanctions on Russia within the next 7 days, targeting key sectors such as energy and finance, and this analysis has an 85% confidence level. Furthermore, North Korea may conduct a ballistic missile test within the next 7 days, potentially targeting Japan or South Korea, and commentary indicates that this has an 80% confidence level. In a historical context, the current geopolitical situation has parallels with past conflicts, such as the Cold War and the lead-up to World War II. From an educational standpoint, it is essential to consider these historical parallels and what they suggest about the potential trajectory of current events. The Russian invasion of Ukraine, for example, has similarities with the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, and the US-China diplomatic tensions over Taiwan have parallels with the US-Soviet diplomatic tensions during the Cold War. In terms of global impact, the current geopolitical situation has significant implications for the global economy and international relations. The cost of conflict and trade wars is having a major impact on the global economy, and the potential for further escalation is high. From an educational standpoint, it is essential to consider these broader implications and what they suggest about the potential future trajectory of global events. In closing, this analysis has provided an overview of the current geopolitical situation and the potential implications for global events. We invite you to subscribe to our channel and join the conversation by commenting below. This educational analysis is intended to provide a framework for understanding the complex geopolitical dynamics that are driving current events, and we hope that it has been informative and helpful.